You can tell when a queen is busted, but can you tell when a queen is dusted and why she's dusted? Most people recognize that there are a lot of talented artists on RuPaul's Drag Race, but there are some girls who are just a cut above the rest. As someone who has watched every episode of Drag Race, yes, even season 1, and has extensive makeup knowledge, I'm breaking down what separates an average mug from a legendary elite mug so that you can finally spot it for yourself. Today, we're breaking down 10 of the best makeup artists from RuPaul's Drag Race. And by the end of the video, you'll know what separates good makeup from legendary artistry. In other words, you'll finally know what makes up a great makeup artist. Get it? Because makeup. There's no better place to start than with a literal icon, Raja Gemini, or as some know her, Sutan from America's Next Top Model. We're going there today, ladies. Yes, we are. For the youngins who are finding this video, before Drag Race fame, Raja/Sutan got into the LA drag scene by attending nightclubs and bars. Underage, she was like 16 doing this stuff. And they were really drawn and connected to this part of drag culture that was goth and punk, which obviously shows in their current interpretation of drag. They studied art direction and illustration for 2 years before moving into drag and makeup artistry. This led up to Raja being the lead makeup artist on America's Next Top Model for multiple cycles, creating some of the most memorable editorial looks from the show's history. One of my favorites being the colored powder shoot from season 12. Those beauty shots, so good. Except for London and Celia. They were set up. They set up the dolls on that one. Raja brought legitimate high fashion artistry to the Drag Race stage from her time on America's Next Top Model. She had actual runway and photo shoot experience, not just performing in seedy little gay bars. She understood fashion trends, designer aesthetics, and editorial standards from her time in the fashion industry. And she possessed formal makeup training and makeup skills that you just couldn't procure, just couldn't curate in the back room of a dive bar. This sounds like I'm being really hard on the queens who come up that way. Like, there's nothing wrong with, the fluorescent lighting of a bar. Paint where you gotta paint, diva. And Raja did really well in a lot of the design challenges on her season, which I think there were like 4 or 5 on season 3, which is absolutely ridiculous. But her makeup artistry and her understanding of couture fashion and her understanding of garments really showed in her ability to use her makeup as an accessory to the outfit. And not only did she understand fashion, she understood art history. Her Marie Antoinette, that intersection of makeup and beauty and fashion and history, oh my gosh, legendary. She elevated the competition of RuPaul's Drag Race from typical drag standards to something way bigger, something way outside of the realm of drag itself. She forced the girls to think beyond the club and think into more of a fashion runway sense. And that had them big mad, like big mad. Who the fuck is Heather? I just want to know. Not only that, she incorporated a lot of cultural elements, for better or for worse, into drag's vocabulary. Particularly on All-Star 7, her talent show, chef's kiss. But then also you have her Native American headdress look and then her more tribal Aboriginal look from season 3, which have aged interestingly, but have opened up the door for culture to be integrated into drag, even if it wasn't necessarily her place to do it. But most importantly, Raja showed that there is a career, there is a blueprint for everyone to have their own place in the business of drag, in the business of beauty, in the business of fashion. There's a place for queer perspectives in underground culture. That has led to a natural progression from competitor on the show to eventual judge and expertise on shows like Fashion Photo Review, and even guest hosting on shows like Painted with Raven. Now that she is the HBIC, one of the HBICs, over at Fashion Photo Review, I could honestly see Raja taking over the show in some capacity eventually. But she'll only get that if Ru ever retires. Okay. Season 67 is going to be like RuPaul's AI race, it's going to be RuPaul's head in a box. Or like Al Gorman in Futurama, or just. The next queen on our list is Raja's counterpart on Fashion Photo Review, Raven. Putting aside the tan fishing, black fishing controversies and other issues she's had in the past, Raven is the OG makeup legend who literally became RuPaul's makeup artist. And I believe RuPaul asked for her specifically after Matthew left or got fired. I don't know. The story is still a bit hazy to me. But that just shows her technical ability and her memorability. Okay, because RuPaul is not remembering anybody's name. And who's this one over here? Seattle. And Raven's talents led to her winning a Primetime Emmy Award during season 12 for her makeup application on the show. Her contouring ability on season 2 was so advanced that it influenced an entire generation of queens. You could not enter a club in the 2010s without seeing a bunch of Raven lookalikes. likes. Everyone stole the nude lip with the heavy liner. Everyone took the exclamation point nose highlighter. And everyone contoured just a bit sharper because of Raven. She even directly influenced one of the queens that's going to show up later on our list. She popularized this sultry, blown out, smoky eye that eventually became her trademark look. At a time where drag makeup was super, super harsh, Raven in her softness and her blendedness helped her to stand out. She is the queen of nude makeup. They don't call her 50 Shades of Beige for nothing. Although nowadays she's kind of like 50 Shades of Mocha, but I digress. Most importantly, I believe Raven helped to establish the standards of what good drag makeup application looks like on TV. Because she was so stenosh, Gorgina Dupree, Dion, on season 2, under the HD lighting, under the HD cameras. She was the pioneer of establishing the visual standard of reality TV drag makeup. And just because she was on TV, she still painted big, right? But it was just soft and blended, but still big and impactful makeup. And with season 18 currently airing, I'm excited to see if this is going to be Emmy number 2 for the queen who is iconically second place. Or maybe painted with Raven season 3. Maybe they stopped at 2 seasons because they knew that she's second place. I'm getting really shady, guys. Keeping in line with our OG Divas theme, we're going to be discussing season 1's makeup pioneer who proved that avant-garde art could be drag. Nina Flowers. Goodbye, your name. She is a really underappreciated queen who falls outside of that realistic woman or high femme drag category. Her alien-esque, otherworldly, underground looks were really ahead of their time, and they still influence queens today. She didn't need the filter. Mother was low-key out mugging Rue on that first season. Her use of powder in particular is so fantastic. The way she's able to layer powder upon powder without looking cakey is truly admirable. I love that she used her face as a canvas for art and abstract art rather than something to be used for beauty enhancement or something. I just love when a queen paints on gigantic eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow, what can I say? She uses so much color because she paints her brow so high and because she applies so much black eyeshadow, she's able to blend out these colors like into her temple. It's ridiculous. It's so beautiful. Diva is able to use every square decimeter of her face. She incorporates sharp lines, angles, geometric elements into her makeup, and it's obvious that she took inspiration from the big pageant kind of drag makeup that we were seeing at the time, but then incorporated her own perspective and her own unique grunge element into it and made it her own. With the use of the heavy smoked out liner, with the dark lip liner, with the heavy lash, with the bald head, with the super matte skin, it all just blends together and makes Nina Flowers. What I also really enjoy is how she's able to incorporate different textures and finishes into her makeup. Her skin is super matte and super powdery, but then her lips would be super high gloss shine, or like a metallic lip, or it'd be a pop of color. Just the ability to incorporate different kinds of juxtaposition into the makeup, into the canvas is so cool. Nina Flowers is just cool. Like, I don't know what else to say. And the coolest, the most punk thing about her is her refusal to conform to conventional pretty standards of drag, or what it means to be someone wearing makeup. And that's exactly why she made the top 2 of the first season and why we're still talking about her today. And why low-key, I don't know if I want her to come back and compete, but I want to see her back on the show somehow, somewhere. Oh my gosh, if they ever did Celebrity Drag Race again, she would be so good. Wait, how did she do? That was me attempting to speak in chicken like the next queen on the list does impeccably, Miss Fame. I absolutely had to include her on this list. She's a no-brainer when it comes to lists like this. She came onto the show with a following, with a pedigree. Thank you, Kenya Moore. Before Drag Race, she was uploading makeup tutorials onto YouTube and working with industry icons like Pat McGrath. Also, she was building a celebrity clientele, which includes people like Marc Jacobs, Martha Wash, Wendy Williams, and then also Snooki and JWoww, which I really would love to see what happened in that room. Her runways and her makeup application were gallery-worthy art pieces that just elevated the fine art status of drag at the time. I often think of her green runway, and it was low-key the inspiration for today's eye look. Just the high femme simplicity coupled with that alien-esque color story and coutureness, just it makes my loins separate. It makes my loins lather. Can loins lather? What happens when you lather your loin? What if I want to lather your loin? Heaven, stop. Even back on season 7, my sister was ready for HD. And I must say that she is my personal favorite makeup artist on this list. I'm a Fame fanatic, I must admit. I'm one of the rubber dolls, okay? Rubber doll. Like, I'm a rubber doll. Like, you know I've got it all. I am the rubber doll. the one and only. If you know, if you get that reference, if you know that's from, instant love. Like, you're instantly my best friend. I obviously adore her for her technical proficiency in the art of makeup, but also just her authenticity. Being so open about her sobriety, her love of chickens, her upbringing, the loss of her grandfather, her parental figure, sharing that all with the world without having some chip on her shoulder and still being able to upkeep some type of positive attitude. She's great. The way she struggles is very reminiscent of the way I struggle. That scene where she's doing the "whatever happened to Merle Ginsburg," and she's like, I'm just hitting a wall and I don't know if I bring up my emotions or if I talk about, that is so me. When she's singing and she's like, gonna turn and burn and tan with you. I just see so much of myself in Fame sometimes that I get a little scared. She's really trademarked by this ethereal, snatched, alien-like beauty. I mean, she is the cosmic queen after all. She was using iridescent and holographic and duochrome glitters and colors before they were really popular and trendy and even accessible. The girls loved to read my sister for her face tapes, but I loved it. She was breaking down the illusion. This is gonna get so like thesis. She's breaking down the illusion of drag, right? Everyone always wondered, like, how does RuPaul look so snatched? How does RuPaul, like, at 50-something, 60-something look so snatched? Bro, she's taped back. She's like so pulled and so taut. But I think Fame was the first queen on the show to have the face tape. And now look at them. Every single season, I see these girls wrapping their heads in duct tape, putting duct tape on their face and giving themselves facelifts. Fame popularized it, and she used the correct materials. Okay, the duct tape scares me because that's why y'all don't even have a hairline. Duct tape in our hairline for the art of drag could never be. I will always love my chicken queen. And if you're loving this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Thanks, friend. This is possibly the most controversial choice on the list. The next queen is Bonina Brown. She's possibly the most creative and versatile face painter in Drag Race history. She could transform into anything. Peaches, aliens, cartoon characters, Jasmine Masters, Whitney Houston. She even transformed into RuPaul herself. Nina's imagination just knows no bounds. And those characters only scratch the surface of what she's capable of. She's transformed into a teacup, she transformed into a poodle, into this like fan geisha thing. And her makeup always feels like this weird fever dream. There's this really rich world of Bonina Brown that only she can access, but we all get to enjoy. She uploaded makeup tutorials back in 2013 onto YouTube, which is when she started gaining popularity in the drag scene. She even did some of the makeup looks for the drag artist formerly known as Fifi O'Hara's 365 Days of Drag project. Nina is the MacGyver of makeup. She could transform into anything using construction paper, acrylic paint, and a dream, okay? She broke every makeup rule, but somehow made it look super, super, super intentional and artistic. In June of 2018, she was sponsored by MAC Cosmetics to be a part of their Aaliyah collection. So she has some accolades, but sadly, she is her own biggest enemy. On her season, she convinced herself that everyone was plotting against her and fell into her own feelings of paranoia. And I think the biggest issue is that she's constantly measuring herself against others instead of celebrating what makes her so unique and so special. She literally manifested her own downfall in more ways than one. And although she doesn't have perfect makeup application, and although her personality tends toward bigotry sometimes, this weird sense of like self-pity and self-hate and insecurity, there's something super charming still about Bonina Brown. But then it's also frustrating because sometimes you want it more than she does, it feels like. Our next queen is the master of big Chicago drag with an anime-inspired aesthetic, Kim Chi. When's dinner? Kim Chi studied graphic design in college before she became an art director, before she started studying sculpture, fashion design, and painting. And her art background is super evident in her drag. Kim Chi is the prototype of Instagram queens. She currently has 1.7 million followers on Instagram. And she was one of the first queens to document her runways on the RuPaul's Drag Race runway on Instagram. That made any sense. She was able to mix Korean skincare obsession with the American drag excess with these Japanese kawaii anime inspiration into this big, beautiful ball that no one else can copy, even though they try. She just has this really cool blend of Eastern beauty standards and American drag, specifically Chicago drag, which is the bomb.com. And Kim Chi was the first Korean actually to appear on Drag Race, which I did not know. And because of her success on social media, she helped a lot of makeup brands realize that drag queens are the future of marketing and cosmetics. After Drag Race, she partnered with Sugar Pill to have her own lip and a teal eyeshadow, and then eventually she created her own cosmetics company, Kim Chi Chic Cosmetics. Also, I love Kim Chi because she's shady. shady. I love a shady queen. Love me some shade chi. Okay. Our next queen is the first queen in Drag Race history to ever win 2 makeover challenges, Naomi Smalls. She perfected the Instagram baddie look with her razor sharp contour and highlight. Her makeup always looked like it was ready for a magazine cover. And it's really evident that Naomi Campbell is one of her big inspirations. I vividly remember being in high school and watching her and Kimchi in their online series Mug, the Makeup Girls, where they would critique the makeup of the Drag Race girls. The nostalgia, so good. Her mug from 2019 is just iconic for me. The chunky glitter eye, the winged eyeliner, the thick brows, the cartoonishly oversized lips. She just made natural lips look like a foreign concept in my mind, although she did have help from a friend named Jupiter. Her old mug is just a time capsule of drag that I will always adore. She embodied that Bratz doll aesthetic with the impossibly perfect features, the glazed, perfect skin, and the doll-like proportions of just everything she wore that perfectly encapsulated that millennial childhood fever dream. She's like an early 2000s Y2K fever dream come to life. And what I really enjoy about Naomi is her ability to reinvent herself. We've seen her go through so many stages and iterations of makeup throughout her journey, and I love that she shows that she's not done growing. She's only going to improve and only going to refine, even in the public eye from this point forward. That is a sign of a great makeup artist. Also, when are we going to get a life-size, remember the Tyra Banks movie? When are we going to get a life-size movie with a drag queen that comes to life? Because I'm putting Naomi in for the role. Oh, that like Eve, but she's like Bratz. So good. That's low-key what AJ and the Queen should have been. You already know this next queen. Yes, it's her, Valentina. Oh, my elbows weren't ashy doing all that in the camera. Valentina brought telenovela glamour mixed with classic beauty looks. She channeled those classic Mexican telenovela leading ladies with the dramatic, bold lashes and eyebrows and lips, soft focused glamour, warm undertones, and that signature pan to camera look. Her mug is a piece of drag excellence. I mean, come on now. And Valentina is a huge inspiration to the Latin community. Okay, they go goo goo gaga for her. After her season, she was in an issue of Vogue Mexico and actually did a makeup tutorial on the Vogue YouTube channel. And then in 2013, she was announced as one of the hosts for Drag Race Mexico for a season. And her influence on drag makeup cannot be denied. Okay, after season 9, everyone was drawing on individual brow hairs with their liquid eyeliner pens. I don't want to hear it. Everyone was doing it. I was doing it too. And again, that goes back into that ideal of Latin beauty, the strong, defined eyebrows. And it infamously takes Valentina a long time to do her mug. Ask any queen she's ever done a tour or a show with, they will tell you how late she runs. But hey, perfection takes time, y'all. Perfection takes time. Although perfection does not exist. As a ballet dancer myself, I love that she takes a lot of inspiration from the makeup style of ballet dancers with the use of the lines, with the use of teal eyeshadow, and the warm nudes and the peaches that she incorporates, and the blush placement, and the big doll eye effect that she's going for. And that really lends to the delicate femininity of ballet and ballet makeup, but then also the strength and the power, the feistiness that feels racially charged of Latin American culture and beauty ideals. This chameleon queen could serve any look flawlessly, from editorial high fashion to club kid creativity. We're talking about the winner of season 10, Aquaria. Aquaria got her background from studying women's wear at the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan for 2 semesters. And despite her youth and despite her age, she has made some major accomplishments in the beauty and fashion world. In 2019, she was announced as one of the faces for the MAC Viva Glam campaign. And then that same year, she attended the Met Gala, being the first drag queen to ever walk the red carpet. And then also in 2019, she released her own makeup palette with NYX Cosmetics. 2019 was a very busy year for her. She was able to channel legitimate club kid culture with her use of neon colors, graphic shapes, unconventional materials, and boundary-pushing designs that really honored the nightlife of NYC. She's like part drag queen, part club kid, but like 100% chaos. And it's very evident through her makeup and her costuming and just her references that she was really close to Suzanne Barsh, one of the most iconic people in the NYC party scene, like period. Aquaria just has such a rich understanding of color and balance and shape. She's just a deserving winner. 10s across the board for the winner of season 10. And now we're moving on to our first trans masked contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race, Gottmik. Gottmik's inclusion on the show brought trans representation to all new heights. And she really showed how makeup can sculpt and transform in groundbreaking ways. And that there is no binary to makeup. There is no gender roles associated with makeup. Everyone can wear makeup. Not only that, she has one of the lengthiest resumes in the show's history. I'm gonna read from my script because I do not trust myself to remember all these names. Gottmik has done makeup for Ariana Grande, Cindy Crawfish. Gottmik has done makeup for Ariana Grande, Cindy Crawford, Todrick Hall, Paris Hilton, Heidi Klum, Adam Lambert, Lil Nas X, Tinashe, Alaska, I'm not gonna say her last name because I don't want to get demonetized, Detox, Gia Gunn, Gia, and Violet Chachki. The mug is literally stamped for Gottmik. Everyone knows a Gottmik face from a mile away. The signature white face, the pencil brow, the graphic liner, the black lip, it's just iconically Gottmik. And that combination of branding and technical ability, scary, crazy combination. The world is truly Gottmik's oyster. Some of the best looks on RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, that fully stoned look, the Scream-inspired one, oh my gosh, like rent-free. The last queen on the list is our first diva from overseas and the winner of UK Series 3, Crystal Versace. That's right, y'all, it's time to party with Miss Versace. She attended North Kent College and graduated with a qualification in makeup. I don't know what that means, but it's what Wikipedia said, so I'm repeating it. At just 19 years old, she served makeup so polished that it rivaled seasoned professionals. And that led to her being the youngest winner in Drag Race history. What I love about Crystal is that she proves that creativity and ability have no age limit. Her makeup style is just so snatched. The thin, arched brow, the huge cat eye, the contour that goes way up. Her and a red lip is my sexuality. That Cruella look that she did on her season, oh my, like changed my life. The simplicity of it all, but then just how striking and visually, my loins are lathering just thinking. She's only 24. She's still really young, but she has found a lane and has found success in the realm of YouTube. And seems to be the future, literal future of drag. She's really young, so she doesn't have as many accolades or achievements to boast of yet, but she has the raw talent and the potential to be one of the best drag makeup artists that the world has ever seen. Look out for her. Watch out for Miss Versace, okay? These queens didn't just wear makeup. They used their faces as canvases to create literal art that has influenced beauty far beyond the realm of drag. These queens are the reason that modern makeup techniques exist and why they continue to influence the entire world. Each one of the queens that I've listed has brought something unique to the world of drag and the world of beauty, making them true legends of the craft. And for that, I thank them dearly. All right, friend, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can watch some of my other videos. And if no one else has told you this, I believe in you and I know that your dreams are gonna come true.